Alright, so... Castlevania. Circle of the Moon, which might be the stupidest title in the series, I don't quite know. Castlevania gets good when the games are Metroidvanias. When they're more just side-scrolling adventures, they're usually boring, usually not very well designed. In the case of the original and 3, very well designed, but designed to be an asshole. The world, it's got Castlevania sections. I do think some areas rely too much on gimmicks. Like the clock tower. The clock tower somehow manages to have too many moving platforms and not enough gears, which would be moving platforms. And I want to say that might just be because the Game Boy couldn't handle, like, rotating collision like that. Because it just does up and down and side to side. But I want to say Aria of Sorrow has a clock tower, and it handles it just fine. But also, like, the abilities you get to traverse the world don't feel good, and because of that, the world itself doesn't feel good. Because, like, the up jump, the Rock's Wing ability, is probably the best of them, and even then, you're slow as fuck because you're just slow as fuck. The run boots are a stupid idea. The moment you get run boots, your default movement speed should just be running. Because I can't think of fights in which you would want to walk. And so then you're just mashing movement, and that doesn't help anyone, ever. And like, the amount of areas that were opened up by just, hey, these statues just exploded because you pressed a switch at the top of the castle. That's fucking stupid. And the number of boxes that you have to push, and how slowly you push them, and the fact that they get reset when all they are is a wall that you have to get out of the way. Complete waste of time. They could have just saved the positions of all those fucking boxes, and it'd be way more enjoyable. So, like, 6 out of 10. It's a Castlevania world. It's full of enemies. There's a wide variety of enemies. It's got different areas. It's got traversal. It's got shortcuts. It's got all the things that you would like a Castlevania world to have. It's just nothing feels well enough designed. And the story is somehow remarkably light even for a Castlevania game. You play as a character who has no character. Your friend is an asshole, and it turns out, oh, it's because evil. And you talk to your friend like 4 times. Camilla, I think Hugh might have less dialogue than Camilla. You know, Dracula's Dracula, Camilla's Camilla. Like, there's very little story to it. It's incredibly bare, even for this point in the games. Because even by now, we've had Symphony of the Night. We've had Rondo of Blood. We've had voiced cutscenes. We've had characters. We've had good writing. Well, we've had decent writing. Bare minimum. So, like, 5 out of 10, it's there. Not worth talking about, really. The characters, Dracula's neat. Even if I were to speedrun it, I would not get world record. I can promise you that. No, like Dracula's Dracula. That's good. Camilla has some lines that are pretty decent. The old man exists. And you play it until you do. No, because I want to finish Castlevania sometime this century. And yeah, that comes out. When does that even come out? There's a game coming out in a few months that I would like to play. And I'm hoping to finish Castlevania in time to play some of those other ones. Let's see. Oh, the 12th. Oh, fuck. That is not as much time as I would have liked. I was hoping it was later in the month. Well, shit. I am not saying, because that will give it away. That will give away the series. Wow, that picture is fucking terrible. Oh, it's a Polygon article. Never mind. I clicked a company website. Yeah. That's why I don't want to say it. I want it to be vaguely a surprise. And also because I bought an outfit to wear when I play one of the games. That'll be fun. Gameplay... I'll give it a 7 out of 10. The card system is a neat idea, but the cards should not be rare drops from enemies. Like, if you really want a card to be rare, sprinkle them throughout the castle. There's a ROM hack that does it, and that sounds like a fucking great idea. You're rewarded for exploration with new abilities, new tools, rather than just... Oh, hey, you managed to grind the right enemy for 20 minutes and you got it. Nice, good job. Proud of you. He's like, let me take a look. Let me see if I can find Manticore card. There we go. I want to find drop rates for the cards because I imagine they are not good. And so to have abilities that can just completely break the game be, oh yeah, it's behind this one enemy that only spawns after you kill a certain boss in one room in the back of the castle. Like, that is just so dumb. But the cards themselves are not a bad idea. Rewinding makes Castlevania Circle of the Moon's card grind less absurd. Okay. Worth noting for first-time Circle of the Moon players, you may have to kill an enemy literally hundreds of times to get its card to show up. Considering how impactful card-based abilities can be in the game's drawn-out boss fights, that grind is pretty wild. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, that is offensive. Ah, here we go. Here's the drop rates. Mercury, 20%. Venus, 2.5%. Jupiter, 2.2. Mars, 2.5. Diana, 1.5. From only the Maneater, which was the plant. I think. Wow. That is impressive. 1.4% for Apollo, 1.2 for Neptune, 1.2 for Saturn, 0.6 for Uranus, and 0.4 for Pluto. Meanwhile, for the attribute cards, 20% for Salamander, 2.5 for Serpent, 1.4 or 1.34 for Mandragora, 3% or 1.5 for Golem, 1.8 or 1.5 for Cockatrice, 3 or 1.5 for Manticore, 0.75 or 2 for Griffin, 1.1 or 1.4 for Thunderbird, 2.5 for Unicorn, and 2.5 for Black Dog. That is offensive. Oh, for fuck's sake. No, give me my mouse. Thank you. So, like, you know, the whip is fine, and the upgrades to the whip that you can get through the card system is super neat. The card system itself is quite good. I like it. I don't like the grind. The grind is fucking stupid. And maybe as part of, you know, moving things around, you rebalance some of the card combos, like making summons not as fucking good. Because the fact that you can go through the whole game, not find any cards, get those two, and you'd be done for the game. You do nothing else. And like, it's a good thing to reward players for actually getting the cards, but when you have to get them in such a stupid way, it just makes it awful. It just feels so bad, so annoying. It just feels like padding. Which for a Game Boy game, probably was. As for the music, I feel like this might be the weakest of the Castlevanias. Probably because of the Game Boy sound chip not being that powerful, but like, I don't know. The renditions of the songs aren't as good. That one song in the warehouse is just like 4 notes played in a row. And then a slight pause, and the same 4 notes. Slight pause, same 4 notes. I don't think there's any difference between them. So like, it's probably the weakest of the music so far. The length? The length has been padded to fuck. Like, if you want to go for the battle arena, you have to do a shit ton of grinding. If you want to go for all the cards, you have to do a shit ton of grinding. You want to get decent equipment? Well, hello, champ. You're doing a shit ton of grinding. So it's almost too long for what it is, and it's not even that long. Like, you could double, triple, fucking pentuple. Dectuple. Is that a word? Dectuple? Desuple? I don't know. You could 5 or 10 times the drop rates, and it would approach sensible levels for something like this. For jank? I don't think there was that much jank. And what little jank there was didn't really get in the way of things. More kind of just boss fights are not fun. Boss fights are long and drawn out. Some of them are just offensive. Yeah, not really that jank. Nothing really there. DLC, well, it's GBA out of 10. There's no DLC here. It's not happening. So all in all, I give Circle of the Moon like a 6 out of 10. It'd be a good game to play when you're an 8-year-old in your parents' vehicle on the drive somewhere. It's like, oh shit, I'm gonna fucking play some Castlevania. Gonna grind me up some cards. Even then, back then, you wouldn't have the internet. You wouldn't know that Dark Armor exists. You wouldn't know how to fight bosses. You wouldn't have any of that stuff. So, like, it's a very weird game to me. Very weird. But it is a Castlevania game. It still has the big enemy count. It still has bosses. It's got the whip, which lends itself to some decent spacing. It's just that it's so slow, and the movement is holds back by so much. I think if they added the ability that I think Aria of Sorrow and Bloodstained have, where you just hold down a button and you just fucking fly, or you move at ungodly speeds whilst having an attack hitbox, I think then it'd be a little better. Because then at least the late game movement would feel fast and fluid. But that never really happens. And also double tapping to sprint is offensive on the fucking Game Boy. You would be killing your thumbs. Yeah, not very high up there when it comes to the series for me.